Hello, welcome to VNews Broadcast Daily and following are today's top stories.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment celebrates its 10th founding anniversary. Prime Minister VIểt T urges for more efforts to fight smuggling, trade frauds and fake goods. The Japan-Vietnam Council for Peace and Friendship extends help to Agent Orange victims in Quảng Nam province.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment celebrates its 10th founding anniversary at a ceremony in Hanoi on August 5th. Prime Minister VIểt T attended the event and presented the ministry with the Ho Chi Minh Order.
Prime Minister Dũng said the past 10 years saw the continuous development of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment in particular, and the natural resources and environment sector in general. The ministry has assisted the National Assembly and the government in issuing many policies and laws in 7 areas under its management, especially the laws on land, environmental protection, minerals and water resources, and the law on the sea. The sector's international cooperation activities have brought in practical results, especially in calling for international support for Vietnam's viewpoint on sea and island sovereignty and attracting international aid to cope with climate change, he said. Prime Minister Dũng stated that in the new development period, the party and state consider the natural resource and environment sector as a main pillar for sustainable development. He stressed the sector should continue to perfect the legal framework by improving the quality of natural resources management and environmental protection.
The National Committee for the Advancement of Vietnamese Women held a conference in Hanoi early this month to sum up gender equality work in the first half of 2012.
According to the government's report at the conference, among a total of 1.5 million workers provided with jobs in the reviewed period, more than 48% are women. More attention has been paid to health care services for mothers and children. The number of female intellectuals continued to increase, with women representing over 30% of people holding master degrees and 17% of those with PhD degrees. In the coming time, the Ministry of Labor, Work and Violence and Social Affairs will collect ideas from agencies and localities with a view to building models on job generation for women, violence prevention and provision of services supporting gender equality activities.
Prime Minister VIểt T has urged for more efforts to fight smuggling, trade frauds and fake goods in his recent dispatch to cities and provinces nationwide.
He asked the municipal and provincial people's committees to coordinate with the Steering Board 127 and relevant ministries and branches to oversee competent agencies in the combat against smuggling, trade fraud and fake goods. The Prime Minister urged for the enhancements of forces and means to regularly inspect key areas in order to deal with violations in a strict and timely manner, especially cases on oil and gas, poultry, meat of wild animals and transportation of import items. He stressed the need to tighten inspection over trading and goods exchange at border gates, trails, markets, roads, railways, waterways and sea routes. The Prime Minister assigned the Ministry of Public Security to instruct competent forces and police at localities to closely work with relevant agencies to stop and detect organizations and individuals conducting smuggling and trade fraud, especially those operating in a ring. He required the press to partner with competent agencies to update cases of smuggling, trade fraud and fake goods in a timely and objective manner.
More and more foreign retail groups are paying attention to the Vietnamese market. This trend has forced domestic retailers to seek ways to compete with their foreign rivals who have both experience and financial potential.
Vietnam has over 600 supermarkets, some 100 shopping centers, and about 1,000 convenience stores. However, the system is still not big enough to serve consumption demand of 90 million people nationwide, especially those living in big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. As a result, the past several years have seen the arrival of many retail outlets in different forms. Ho Chi Minh City has the biggest consumption demand and increasing requirements for service quality. Existing supermarkets fail to meet the huge demand of major cities. Many supermarket chains suffer from overload. Therefore, they seek other retailing formats to deal with the situation. In 2013, Vietnam will open up the retail sector, which is expected to draw the participation of many foreign retailers. Domestic supermarkets will find it hard to compete with their foreign rivals, who have a lot of experiences and great financial potential. However, the country still lacks measures to support domestic retailers. Experts say there are many feasible ways to supporting domestic businesses in various areas, such as favorable premises. In several countries, the domestic retail system will be hard hit when the market is opened up to foreign firms if there are no supportive measures. In such cases, it can be said that that country's economy has fallen into the trap of trade liberalization. In other words, the penetration of foreign retailers has made domestic ones unable to survive, and it is the foreign businesses that reap all the profit. In 2012, Vietnam's retail market continued to meet with a wide range of difficulties due to the decline in consumption. Therefore, it's necessary for Vietnamese retailers and distributors to work with each other and set up supermarket chains which have the competitiveness and ability to build their own brand names in the domestic market. This means restructuring is a must for the sustainable development of the country's retail sector. I think this is a chance for Vietnamese retailers to look at themselves and collaborate with each other for higher business efficiency, especially in terms of sale and transportation. Apart from supportive policies regarding premises and capital assets, domestic retailers also need to work hard themselves to improve the service capacity in order to compete with foreign ones in the new period.
A delegation from the Japan-Vietnam Council for Peace and Friendship is on a visit to Vietnam to help local Agent Orange victims. The delegation worked with the Union of Friendship Organization of Central Quảng Nam Province on this issue on August 4th.
At present, Quảng Nam Province has over 35,000 people suffering from Agent Orange dioxin, including nearly 2,000 children. Most of them are living in poverty. On the occasion, the Japan-Vietnam Council for Peace and Friendship delegation presented medical equipment for health clinics in Phu Ninh and Duy Xuyên districts. They also offered assistance to the building of 4 houses for poor Agent Orange victims in the province. In addition, the delegation will fund the building of infrastructure and facilities for children of Agent Orange victims in Quảng Nam Province.
The Pacific Links Foundation, a non-governmental organization of the United States, on August 4th handed over scholarships to 376 female students in the 3 Mekong Delta provinces of An Giang, Đông Tháp, and Kiên Giang.
The scholarships are part of the An Giang Đông Tháp Alliance for the Prevention of Trafficking program run by the U.S. organization in the 3 provinces for a period of 7 years. The program seeks to prevent the trafficking of young girls and women by enhancing their educational attainment and improving their vocational choices. Since 2005, the organization has granted nearly 3,740 scholarships to 779 female students at junior and senior high schools in the 3 localities.
The United States Department of State has issued a press release affirming the wish to maintain peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region.
As a Pacific nation and resident power, the United States has a national interest in the maintenance of peace and stability, respect for international law, freedom of navigation, and unimpeded lawful commerce in this sea, said the statement released on August 3rd. The department said the nations of the region should work collaboratively and diplomatically to resolve disputes without coercion, without intimidation, without threats, and without the use of force. It is said the U.S. is concerned by the increase in tensions in this sea and is monitoring the situation closely. It urged all parties to take steps to lower tensions in keeping with the spirit of the existing declarations, as well as the 1982 UN Convention on the Law of the Sea.
And this is the end of the news today. Thanks for watching and see you next time.